Hello everyone! Welcome to Lolaland. In this episode, I'll walk you through the process of crocheting a universal round coaster. This video is a follow-along practice session for our basic tutorial series. The goal is to help beginners get hands-on experience with crocheting from a written diagram. The coaster body is crocheted using joined rounds, while the bunny ears use spiral rounds. The universal round coaster is simple to crochet, and with a few small decorations, you can create all kinds of designs. There's a summarized written diagram at the end of the video. If you want to skip the demo, feel free to jump ahead. Please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's start crocheting together. For this project, I'm using 4-ply milk cotton yarn. And I'm using a 3.5mm crochet hook. When making the bear coaster's ears, I used treble crochets tiare, which I haven't covered in previous tutorials. So I'll explain the technique in detail as we go. The coaster body is crocheted with 2 strands held together. Let me show you how to pull 2 strands from one skein. First, pull the outer yarn end. Fluff up the yarn balls. Pull the inner yarn end from the center of the skein. Combine the outer and inner ends to make a double strand. Now you're ready to start crocheting. Start with a magic ring. If you're unsure about the magic ring, please review the Magic Ring Detailed Guide Basic tutorial. Adjust the size of the ring. Chain 2 as a turning chain. If you have questions about the turning chain for double crochet, please review the double crochet basic tutorial. After the turning chain, crochet 12 double crochets into the ring. First double crochet completed. Place a stitch marker on the first stitch. Continue crocheting 11 more double crochets into the ring. Pull the ring tight. Round 1 is completed. Join with a slip stitch into the marked stitch. Chain 2 as a turning chain. Start round 2. Round 2, work a double crochet increasing into every stitch. A double crochet increase means working to double crochets in the same stitch. After the first double crochet, place a stitch marker. Work another double crochet into the same stitch. First increase completed. Watch again. Second increase completed. Continue crocheting double crochet increases until you reach the end of the round. Round 2 completed. If you have trouble counting stitches, you can also place a stitch marker at the end of each round. Join with a slip stitch into the yellow stitch marker. Chain 2 as a turning chain. Start round 3. Work 1 double crochet into the first stitch. Place a stitch marker. Work a double crochet increasing into the second stitch. Work a double crochet, increasing into the third stitch. Repeat 1 DC to DC increases as a group all the way to the end. Round 3 completed. Join with a slip stitch into the yellow stitch marker. Chain 2 as a turning chain. Start round 4. Work 1 double crochet into the first stitch. Place a stitch marker. Work a double crochet, increasing into the second stitch. Then repeat 1 DC, 1 increase as a group all the way to the end. Round 4 completed. Join with a slip stitch into the yellow stitch marker. Now the coaster body is complete. Next, let's add some small decorations. Count the slip stitches at the end of the previous round as the first stitch. Place a stitch marker. From the second stitch, crochet 5 more slip stitches. Skip 1 stitch. Insert your hook into the next stitch. Into this stitch, work 8 treble crochets. I haven't covered treble crochets in detail before, so I'll briefly explain here. A dedicated video will come later. Treble crochets are very similar to double crochets. For a double crochet, you yarn over once before inserting. For a treble crochet, you yarn over twice. After yarning over twice, insert into the next stitch. Then yarn over and pull the yarn through the stitches. Now you have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through 2 loops. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through 2 loops again. Yarn over one last time and pull through the remaining 2 loops. The first treble crochet is complete. To recap, yarn over twice, insert, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops 3 times. Now crochet 7 more treble crochets, all into the same stitch. Let me show you 1 more treble crochet. This stitch will be very crowded. Push each stitch to the right as you go. treble crochets completed, one ear is formed. Skip one stitch. Note, because the ear is so full, it may cover the adjacent stitches. Make sure you don't skip the wrong stitches. Start crocheting from the next stitch. Crochet 42 slip stitches in total. Count silently in your head as you go. Counting silently can lead to mistakes. I recommend placing a stitch marker every 10 stitches. This is the 42nd slip stitch. Skip the next stitch. Insert into the stitch after that. Work 8 treble crochets into this stitch. This is the same as the first ear. I won't demonstrate it again. This hole is the ear stitch. Skip the next stitch. Insert into the stitch after that. Then crochet 6 more slip stitches. The bear coaster is complete. Cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through. Use a tapestry needle to bring the yarn tail to the back of the piece. Weave the tail back and forth through the stitches to hide it. Straighten the piece flat. Trim the excess yarn. Done! Finally, use one strand of dark brown yarn to embroider a face for the bear. First, weave the tail into the pieces. Pull gently, don't pull it all the way through, just hide it inside. After hiding the tail, start embroidering the face. Congratulations! You now have a cute little bear coaster. For the cat coasters round 5, first chain 1 as a turning chain. Then crochet 24 single crochets. Place a stitch marker on the first single crochet. Count as you crochet. Use stitch markers to help you keep track. "24 single crochets completed. Now chain 5. Skip 3 stitches. Insert into the 4th stitch and crochet a single crochet. One single crochet completed, forming the cat ear shape. Continue crocheting 5 single crochets. Chain 5 again. Skip 3 stitches. Insert into the 4th stitch and crochet a single crochet. The second ear shape is formed. Continue crocheting 23 single crochets. Crochet to the end of this round. Join with a slip stitch. Place a stitch marker on this slip stitch. Round 6, no turning chain. Start crocheting slip stitches directly. Crochet 24 slip stitches in total. You'll crochet right up to the first ear. Pull the loop out a bit to prevent it from slipping. The ear is made of 5 chains. Find the middle stitch. Place a stitch marker on the outer loop of the middle stitch. A stitch has 2 loops. The outer loop is the one facing the outside. Now crochet 3 single crochets to the right of the stitch marker. Pay attention to your insertion point. You need to go through the gap and work around the chain. Push each stitch to the right as you go to make room. Three single crochets completed. Now work 3 single crochets into the marked stitches. Insert into the outer loop of this stitch. Next, work 3 single crochets into the gap on the left. The ear is complete. Now continue crocheting into the regular stitches to 6 single crochets. At the second gap, the method is the same as the first gap. I won't repeat it here. Please follow along on your own. Finally, crochet 24 slip stitches. Don't cut the yarn, crochet the tail directly. First, chain 11. Insert into the back bump of the second chain from the hook. Crochet 10 slip stitches. Leave a tail and cut the yarn. Use a tapestry needle to stitch back and forth to secure the tail to the coaster. Then hide the yarn tail. Done! Congratulations! You now have a cute little cat coaster. Now let's make the bunny ears. Start with a magic ring. Crochet 6 single crochets into the ring. pull the ring tight. Bunny ears are crocheted using spiral rounds, no slip stitches, or turning chains. Start rounded directly at the stitch marker. First, crochet 1 single crochet. Remember to place a stitch marker to mark the starter end of each round. Crochet 1 single crochet increased into the second stitch. Repeat 1 SC, 1 increase all the way to the stitch marker. Rounds 3 to 6, no increases or decreases to 9 single crochets in each round. No increases or decreases means the stitch count stays the same as the previous round. Keep track of your rounds. You can write them down to help. Tips: after completing round 3, turn the piece right side out before continuing. It gets harder to turn inside out as the tube gets longer. Cut the yarn tail and tuck it inside the ear. Continue crocheting. This is what it looks like with the right side facing you. Be careful not to catch the back yarn when inserting the hook. Take it slow if you're a beginner. This is the finished look. Round 7, first crochet 7 single crochets. Finally, crochet 1 decreased. After finishing, crochet 1 slip stitch to complete. Leave a long tail and cut the yarn. Ears complete. Make 2 identical. Now let's sew them on. Flattened ear is 4 stitches wide, matches it to 4 stitches on the body. Insert stitches through the body. Pull through the ear stitches. Weave back and forth through these 4 stitches. After securing the ears, bring the yarn tail to the back of the piece and hide it. Sewing both ears on the bunny coaster is complete. You can add some small decorations to your liking. Or use a single strand to embroider a face. Congratulations! You now have a cute little bunny coaster. That's all for this episode. I hope it was helpful to you. If you have any questions while crocheting, feel free to leave a comment. I'll reply as soon as I see it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.